Hello, friends. How are you today? Welcome to It's a Ootsy Thing. Today, for our episode of What's for Supper, I just was really hungry for tacos. And we've not had tacos in quite a while. And so I just thought this will be the perfect day to make tacos. And it's just not much of a video when you make tacos because tacos are really fairly simple. There's just not a lot to it. So I'll tell you what I did already is I have just browned some hamburger meat and put a little bit of onion in there and just let that all fry together real good. I think to me, what makes tacos so good is the fried corn tortillas. And that is probably the most unhealthy part of this meal. But I love tacos. And it really takes me back to my childhood because that's how my mother made them, is doing the fried corn tortillas. And I like to make my own taco seasoning. I will link a video that I did making my own taco seasoning. So if you want to go back and look at that, you can. But it just, when you make your own seasonings, it gives you a good feeling for one thing, but it also just has a better flavor than what you can buy in the grocery store, in my opinion. So I like to make as many sauces myself as I can. I like to make my own spaghetti sauce, which we don't have spaghetti very often, mainly only when Elijah comes, because Michael and I are not real big on pasta and tomatoey stuff. Sometimes it kind of upsets our stomach. And so I just don't do a lot of pastas. If Elijah is here, I'll do spaghetti or I'll do macaroni and cheese because we do like that as well. But other than that, I just don't do a lot of pasta, mainly because of the carb factor. Whenever I'm trying to be careful watching carbs, so I stay away from any type of pastas as much as I can. Sometimes I will use them. There will be times that I will use pastas, but for the most part, on a regular weekly basis, I don't generally use any type of pasta. So, having said all of that, probably the most unhealthy part is the corn tortillas that I'm going to fry, but that just really adds to the flavor of these tacos. And so now that I have browned my hamburger meat with the onion in there, and I always like to do that whenever I am browning hamburger meat, that onion just gives it that extra flavor. And so give that a try when you are making your frying your hamburger for anything, whether it be tacos or spaghetti or any type of casserole. When you're frying your hamburger meat, add a little bit of onion to that, and you can chop them up so tiny that if you have kids that say they don't like onions, you can chop them up so tiny that they'll never know that they're in there. But it really does give an amazing flavor to those tacos and to that meat. So I'm going to drain the little dab of grease that is in this meat. There is very little grease in this meat. But I am going to go ahead and drain off what little dab is on there. But I'm going to wash my meat in hot water as well, and to make sure I've got any extra grease off of that hamburger meat. And then we will add our taco seasoning, my homemade taco seasoning. Now that I've got that meat drained off, I'm going to add my seasoning. And I thought I'd do it a little bit different today. Let's see here. What do I need? Well, I need to add a little bit of water to the hamburger meat. Just a little bit. That was probably, this is about 1.5 pounds of hamburger. And that was probably about 1/4 cup of water that I added in that. And I'm going to add, let's see here, probably a tablespoon. Yeah, I added a tablespoon of my seasoning mix. It really could use 2. So let's do 2 tablespoons of the mix. And this is my own taco seasoning that I make. And then I just put it in here in this nice, pretty container that I got at the dollar store. I'm also going to add a can of tomatoes and green chilies. It just always adds a nice flavor to the meat as well. And then I'm going to add some refried beans. Sometimes I will add like ranch style beans or something like that, but I had this can of refried beans and I thought I would add that. I went to the grocery store and because I needed eggs of all things. Yes, eggs for breakfast. And I wanted to get some lettuce for the tacos. I don't really know where I'm going with this story. Oh, I know what I was going to say. And because I thought, oh, guacamole sounds really good. I could make some guacamole. And the avocados were hard as rock. So I did not get an avocado to make guacamole. But that's okay. We'll be fine without it. We don't put a lot of stuff on our tacos. I'll put some salsa, some lettuce and cheese, and sour cream, and that's it. I'll let you see what this looks like with the refried beans in it. Adding those refried beans in there just really gives it a good flavor. So I'm going to just put that on low and just let that simmer. And I'm going to get my tortillas going. For the grease, I'm using beef tallow to fry my tortillas in. And this is beef tallow that I have rendered myself. And that oil needs to get really hot to fry those tortillas in. A lot of times when we go out to eat, we will pick a Mexican restaurant to go to because we love Mexican food. And I end up getting full on chips and queso before my meal ever gets there. Do y'all do that? And another thing, whenever I go to a Mexican restaurant, I usually don't order tacos. I just prefer my homemade tacos. And usually what we get when we do go out to eat to a Mexican restaurant, we usually get fajitas or some type of, a meal like they have. Number 39 or whatever it is. But I don't generally get tacos at a restaurant. I like my homemade tacos. Okay, let's see if we're hot enough. I think we're getting there. Okay, so here's how I do my corn tortillas. I just fry them in grease, and it doesn't take them just a few minutes to fry. You don't want to leave them in there very long because we like ours soft. And so we just leave them in the oil for just a few seconds. And then I lay them on a towel to get any excess grease off. One of these days I'm going to make my own tortillas and try that. I have some Hispanic friends that are amazing cooks, and I need to tell them either to come to my house or I'm coming to their house, and they need to show me how to make homemade tortillas. I've looked them up online and they're very easy to make. Very, very easy. So I don't know why I've not ever done it. I guess just because it's too easy to just buy them already made and packaged up at the grocery store. But when you go to the Mexican restaurants that make them themselves, oh, they're just so much better. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We eat 3 apiece. And that's all we have for suppers. 3 tacos and we're done. It fills us up. The weather has been so pretty today. I worked outside in my she shed all day, and I even did a video that I will upload, and that way y'all can see what else I do other than cook. It will be time to start planting the garden, so I will have to start getting the ground tilled and all that kind of stuff and get my garden planted. Last one. So what are y'all having for supper tonight? Are you doing Taco Tuesday like I am? It's a pretty easy meal. You have your meal within about 20 minutes. Okay, now that I've got my tortillas fried, we'll start putting the tacos together. All right, I'm going to put my tacos together, and I do sour cream, guacamole if I had it, but I don't. Sour cream, and I just smear that all over my taco shell, just like so. I mean, it's not hard to build a taco. Then I'll put my meat on. Then I'll put my salsa. Some cheese. And then I'll put some lettuce. And y'all, it just doesn't get any easier than Taco Tuesday. And if you've followed me for any length of time, you know I like kitchen gadgets. And so I got these. They hold your tacos so that when you have them set on your plate, they just neatly set on your plate in this little container. Isn't that cute? My little taco holder. And they're easy to eat that way. So there's our supper. Thank you for joining me tonight for Taco Tuesday and What's for Supper. And hopefully you'll give tacos a try and make something easy for your family. Make some memories and enjoy your meal. See you next time. Have a great evening, everybody.